Welcome to Easy English Talks podcast.
Hello, my friends. Let me ask you a question. If you have a brand new, expensive smartphone, but you never, ever charge it, will it work? The answer is obviously no. After a few hours, the battery will die, and that powerful device becomes nothing more than a useless piece of plastic and glass. Your English is exactly like that phone. It is a skill that is stored in your brain, and that skill needs energy to stay active. The energy for your English is daily practice. Learning English is the same as keeping a phone charged. If you only open your book or listen to a lesson one day a month, the information will fade away. You will forget the words you learned, the grammar rules will become confusing, and your speaking ability will get rusty.
However, there is good news. If you make English a part of your daily life, just like eating or sleeping, you will be amazed at how fast you improve. You don't need to move to an English-speaking country. You don't need to spend hours studying. You just need to build a bridge between English and your everyday world. Today, I will share 7 powerful daily habits that can change your English level forever. These habits are simple and practical. You don't need expensive books, and you don't need to join big, expensive classes. All you really need is your phone, a little bit of time every day, maybe just 15 to 20 minutes, and the motivation to start. However, there is good news. If you make English a part of your daily life, just like eating or sleeping, you will be amazed at how fast you improve. You don't need to move to an English-speaking country. You don't need to spend hours studying. You just need to build a bridge between English and your everyday world. Today, I will share 7 powerful daily habits that can change your English level forever. These habits are simple and practical. You don't need expensive books, and you don't need to join big, expensive classes. All you really need is your phone, a little bit of time every day, maybe just 15 to 20 minutes, and the motivation to start.
Read one page of a simple short story or a children's book before you go to sleep. The language is often easier to understand. Read news headlines and short articles on apps like BBC News or Reuters. These are usually written with clear, direct English. When you watch videos on YouTube or Netflix, turn on the English subtitles. This combines reading with listening. Read social media posts in English. Follow pages that interest you, like cooking, travel, or fitness, but make sure they post in English. A practical tip: keep a small notebook or use a notes app on your phone. When you find a new word, write it down. Don't just write the word, write the whole sentence you found it in. This helps you remember the context. Why is reading so important? Improves vocabulary naturally. You don't just learn isolated words, you learn them in context. For example, you learn the word delicious in a sentence like, "The pizza was delicious," so you know exactly how to use it. Improves your grammar without studying rules. When you read a lot, correct grammar starts to look and feel right. You begin to instinctively know when a sentence sounds wrong, even if you can't explain the grammar rule. Exposes you to different writing styles. You see how people tell stories, share news, or give instructions. This makes you a more flexible English user. Habit number 2. Listen to English every single day. Listening is the very first step to understanding English naturally. Think about it. Babies learn their first language not by reading books or studying grammar, but by listening to their parents, family, and the world around them for months and months. You can use the same powerful method. Listening trains your ear to catch the sounds, rhythm, and speed of real English.
How to build this habit. Listen to a short English podcast while you are cooking dinner, cleaning your room, or driving to work. There are podcasts about every topic imaginable, from comedy to science to news. Play your favorite English songs and look up the lyrics, the words of the song. Try to sing along. This is a fun way to improve pronunciation. Listen to audiobooks. If you are reading a book, try listening to the audiobook version at the same time. This connects the sound with the written word. Watch YouTube videos from English-speaking creators who talk about your hobbies. A practical tip. The secret is to choose topics you genuinely enjoy. If you love football, listen to English football podcasts. If you love makeup tutorials. When you are interested in the topic, learning becomes fun, and you won't see it as work. Why is listening so important? Improves your understanding, comprehension. The more you listen, the faster your brain becomes at catching words and phrases. You will stop thinking, "What word was that?" and start understanding immediately. It's a masterclass in pronunciation. You hear exactly how words are supposed to sound. You learn where the stress is in a sentence and how words link together. For example, you hear that going to often sounds like gonna in casual conversation. It teaches you natural English. You learn the phrases, idioms, and expressions that real people use every day. This is very different from the formal textbook English you might find in a classroom. Remember, even if you don't understand everything at first, your brain is still working hard in the background. It is getting used to the sounds. Over time, you will understand more and more without even realizing it. Habit number 3. Speak every day, even if you make mistakes. Speaking is like going to the gym, but instead of training your muscles, you are training your mouth and your brain. Speaking is the skill that makes English real. It turns the words in your head into sounds that can communicate with the world. The more you exercise these muscles, the stronger your English ability becomes. A big trap that many learners fall into is the perfection trap. They think, "I will wait until my English is perfect before I speak to someone." But that day will never come. You have to start speaking with the English you have right now, even if it's not perfect. How to build this habit. Talk to yourself. This might feel strange at first, but it is incredibly effective. While you are doing chores like washing dishes, describe what you are doing in English. I am washing the blue plate. Now I am drying the fork. Narrate your day. When you are walking down the street, narrate what you see. I see a big red bus. There are many people waiting at the bus stop. The weather is sunny today. Find a language partner. Use free apps or websites to find a friend who is also learning English, or a native speaker who wants to learn your language. You can practice speaking together online for just 15 minutes. Use voice search on your phone. Instead of typing your search into Google, use the voice search feature. Try to say your question clearly. A practical tip. In the beginning, do not worry about grammar at all. Focus only on communicating your idea. If you say, "Yesterday I go to store," you have made a grammar mistake. but you successfully communicated your idea. That is a win. Why is speaking so important? Builds your confidence. The first time you speak is the hardest. The second time is easier. The more you do it, the less shy you will feel. You prove to yourself that you can do it. Improves your fluency. Your brain starts to learn how to form sentences faster. You will begin to think in English, which means the pauses between your words will get shorter and shorter. It's a mirror for your weak points. When you speak, you will suddenly realize, I don't know the word for that, or I don't know how to say this in the past tense. Mistakes are not failures. They are actually clues that tell you exactly what part of English you need to study next. Habit number 4. Write something in English every day. Writing is like holding up a mirror to your English level. It gives you a clear, honest picture of what you truly know and what you still need to learn. When you speak, words fly away quickly. But when you write, you slow everything down. You have time to stop and think about your word choice, your grammar, and whether your sentence makes sense. This slow, careful thinking is incredibly valuable for your brain. It helps to solidify the language in your memory. How to build this habit? Keep a daily journal. This is the easiest way. Every evening, write 3 to 5 sentences about your day. What did you do? How did you feel? What did you eat? For example, today was busy. I worked in the morning. For lunch, I ate a sandwich. In the evening, I watched a funny movie. Write on social media. Instead of just scrolling, post something in English. It could be a caption for a photo, a short thought, or a comment on a friend's post. Write a to-do list. Write your daily schedule or your shopping list in English. Practice with apps. Use language learning apps that have writing exercises where you can get feedback from other users. A practical tip: don't try to write a novel on your first day. Start very simple. Use short, basic sentences. The goal is to form the habit. Later, once the habit is strong, you can challenge yourself to write longer and more complex sentences.
Why is writing so important? Improves your grammar deeply. When you write, you are actively practicing putting words in the correct order. This is much more powerful than just reading about grammar rules. You are applying the rules. Helps you remember vocabulary. Using a new word in your own writing is one of the best ways to move it from your short-term memory to your long-term memory. You are creating your own example sentences. Organizes your thoughts. Writing teaches you how to structure your ideas clearly. You learn how to start a sentence, build on an idea, and then conclude it. This skill of organizing thoughts will also make you a better speaker. Habit number 5. Learn 5 new words every day. Words are the building blocks of English. You can think of them as the bricks you need to build a house. Without enough bricks, you cannot build a strong house. Without enough words, you cannot express complex ideas. The more words you know, the more you can say and understand. However, there is a very important secret to vocabulary. Your brain has a limit on how much new information it can take in at once. It is far, far better to learn 5 new words deeply every day than to try to memorize 50 words in one sitting and then forget 48 of them by the next morning. How to build this habit? Choose 5 words. They might come from your daily reading or listening. They might be words you see on a sign or in a conversation. Write them down. Write the word and its meaning. But don't stop there. Use them immediately. Write your own sentence for each word.
This is the most important step. If the word is bright, write, "The sun is very bright today." Review before sleeping. Our brains organize memories while we sleep. Spend just 2 minutes before bed reviewing your 5 new words. This tells your brain, "This information is important, please save it." A practical tip. Repetition is the absolute key. You need to see, hear, and use a word many times before it truly becomes yours. Try to use your new words in conversation or writing the next day. Review the words from last week, last month.
Why is learning vocabulary daily important? Improves communication instantly. With a bigger vocabulary, you can express yourself more precisely. You can say more than just good or bad. You can say fantastic, terrible, interesting, or boring. Makes reading and listening easier. The biggest reason people stop reading or listening is that they encounter too many unknown words. By steadily building your vocabulary, you remove this barrier. You will understand more without having to stop and look up every single word. Builds confidence in conversations. When you know more words, you feel less lost in conversations. You can understand what others are saying and join in without feeling like you are missing the main point.
Habit number 6. Start thinking in English. This habit is incredibly powerful. It might be the secret weapon of advanced learners. Think about what you do right now. When you hear the English word cat, do you immediately see a picture of a cat in your mind? Or do you first translate it to the word for cat in your own language and then see the picture? If you are translating in your head, you are creating an extra step. This extra step makes you slow. It makes you pause before you speak. It makes listening difficult because by the time you translate one word, the speaker has already said 3 more. The goal is to think in English directly. How to build this habit? Start with objects. This is the easiest place to begin. When you see a cup, train your brain to think the word cup, not the word in your native language. When you see a tree, think tree. When you smell food, think delicious. Describe your surroundings. As you go through your day, describe what you see in your head using English. That is a tall building. The car is red. She is wearing a blue coat. Plan your day in English. In the morning, think to yourself in English. First, I will drink coffee. Then I will go to work. After work, I need to buy milk. This is a simple way to start using English for your internal thoughts. Narrate your actions. Think to yourself, I am opening the door. Now I am sitting down.
A practical tip. This habit takes time to develop. Your brain is used to thinking in your native language. Be patient with yourself. Just keep gently reminding yourself to use English for your inner voice. Eventually, it will become automatic. Why is thinking in English so important? Increases your speaking speed. When you don't have to translate, the words just flow. Your sentences come out faster and smoother, without those long, awkward pauses where you are searching for the translation.
Improves your fluency drastically. Thinking in English creates a direct connection between your ideas and the English words. This makes your speech sound much more natural. Makes English feel like a part of you. When you think in English, it stops being just a subject you study in a book. It becomes a natural tool you use to understand and interact with the world. It becomes a part of your daily life, not just something you do during study time. Habit number 7. Be consistent. This is the most important habit of all. It is the glue that holds the other 6 habits together. You can read a whole book today, listen to podcasts for 5 hours, and write 10 pages. But if you then do nothing for the next 2 weeks, you will lose most of the progress you made. Your brain will forget. However, if you do a small amount of English every single day, just 15 minutes, your brain stays active. It keeps the information fresh. It's like watering a plant. A huge bucket of water once a month will drown the plant, but a little water every day helps it grow strong and healthy.
How to build this habit. Create a routine. Attach your English practice to something you already do every day. For example, I will read in English every morning after I finish my breakfast. Or, I will listen to an English podcast every night before I brush my teeth. Use dead time. We all have small pockets of wasted time during the day, waiting for the bus, standing in line at the supermarket, or sitting on the train. Use these 5-10 minutes to review your vocabulary on your phone or listen to a short audio. Don't break the chain. Get a calendar and put an X on every day that you do your English practice. Your goal is to not break the chain of X's. This is a simple but very motivating way to stay consistent.
A practical tip. Stop thinking of English as a subject and start thinking of it as a lifestyle, just like brushing your teeth or taking a shower. You don't skip brushing your teeth because you are too busy. You just do it. Make English that automatic. Why is consistency so important? Builds a powerful routine. When English becomes a habit, you don't have to rely on motivation or willpower anymore. You just do it automatically. Keeps your brain active. Regular practice is the key to memory. When you use English often, you are constantly reminding your brain that this information is important and should be kept. Gives you faster, visible results. Consistent daily practice works like compound interest in a bank. Small, regular deposits add up to a huge amount over time. You will be amazed at how much you can improve in just a few months of consistent effort. Conclusion. Your journey starts now. Remember, learning English is not a race to the finish line. It is not a competition to see who can learn the fastest. It is a personal journey. It is a path of growth where you will discover new ways to communicate, connect with new people, and understand new cultures. With these 7 habits, you will not transform overnight, but you will grow, step by step, day by day. Some days you will feel like you are making amazing progress, and other days you might feel stuck. That is all completely normal. The most important thing is to keep going. Don't wait for the perfect time to start learning. The perfect time does not exist. The best time to start was yesterday. The second best time is today. Start with just one of these habits, then add another. Be patient, be kind to yourself, and be consistent. If you do this, I promise you, one day you will wake up and realize that you can speak English with confidence. You can understand movies without subtitles. You can read books for pleasure. You can have conversations with people from all over the world. That day is waiting for you. Start your journey today.